Alright, so the new regulation has finally been revealed, which is Regulation J, which will include mythical Pokemon and will include these 16 new mythical Pokemon. And with that being said, I honestly don't think that the meta is going to change that much. And I think that Miraidon, Calyrex Ice Rider, Calyrex Shadow Rider, and Zamazenta Crown will still be the best Pokemon in the format. With that being said, let's rank all of the mythical Pokemon. So first up, we have is Mew. Mew to me as a Pokemon is very unique because it can learn every single TM in the game. So it can learn things like Tailwind, Thunder Wave, Taunt, Coaching, Fake Tears, Helping Hand, Imprison, Transform, Grassy Glide, Will-O-Wisp, so many things. And to me, Mew is kind of like a master of none, jack of all trades type of Pokemon. I think the two downsides about Mew is firstly, it's very, very balanced stat pool with 100 across the board. It doesn't have anything crazy like Miraidon or crazy like Calyrex Ice Rider or Shadow Rider. And I also think another downside is its typing. I think Mew wants to act as a support Pokemon in Regulation I, but first off, there's a lot of Pokemon that can run this Pokemon down like Incineroar, Calyrex Shadow Rider, Miraidon, Lunala, Champound, Fluttermane, and a bunch of other Ghost and Dark type Pokemon that are in the format. I think that Lunala does Mew's job better, and I know that Lunala is 4 times weak to Ghost and Dark, but it does have its ability, which is actually kind of useful, which is Shadow Shield, which is basically multi-scale but in a signature move type. I think that Mew for me would range around the A or B tier, but right now let's put him in A tier. Next up is Jirachi. Again, similar to Mew, it has that psychic typing, which is not the greatest. And similar to Mew, Jirachi has 100 base stats across the board. I don't really think that Jirachi is going to be played that much. I think that the only thing that's really going for Jirachi is Terrain Grace plus Iron Head, because I can see like an insane combo like Prankster, Thunderwave, Grimmsnarl, and then also Jirachi Iron Head just be like very annoying like that. There are other psychic types that can fill Jirachi's shoes better, and you don't want to waste one of your restricted slots with Jirachi. With that being said, I think there's going to be a small niche for Jirachi, but not that big of a niche for Jirachi. So I'm going to put Jirachi in C tier. These are the Pokemon I'm very excited for. The 4 Deoxys forms. Out of all of them, I think the worst is going to be Deoxys Defense, because I don't think Deoxys learns enough disrupting moves to make it viable in terms of defense. I think Deoxys Defense will suffer from All My Friends Are Dead syndrome, because, well, this guy's barely going to do any damage. So I'm going to put Deoxys Defense in C tier. Deoxys Speed is going to be the fastest Pokemon in the game with 180 base speed. Its attack and special attack stats aren't the best with 95 and 95. I think that speed is what matters a lot. So I'm gonna put Deoxys Speed in B tier. Let's look at the other two, Deoxys Attack and regular Deoxys. I think that Deoxys Attack will be the best performing one. 180 attack, 180 special attack, 150 speed. It's on par with Calyrex Shadow Rider, and it's on par with Electrode. I think with Deoxys Attack in the game and Calyrex Shadow in the game, we could see some Tailwind battles and 50-50 speed tabs against Deoxys Calyrex Shadow Rider. And also, I think we might see an increase in Choice Scarf Calyrex Shadow Rider. I think that Deoxys Attack and Deoxys regular form will be in A tier. I think both of these Pokemon are very strong, but they're held back by their limited move pool and also their typing, because Psychic type is not the best type anymore. One thing I will note about Deoxys is Deoxys does have Expanding Force, so this could open up for more Expanding Force uses within DD. I think it probably could be a decent niche. Like, especially with Deoxys Speed and regular Deoxys, having that insane attack stat and insane speed stat. Next is Manaphy and Fion. Next is Manaphy and Fion. Honestly, I think Fion is going to be a D tier. This Pokemon's going to suck. Like, it is basically just a worse Manaphy, so why don't you use Manaphy? And Manaphy also gets Tail Glow. D tier. I'm sorry. I am sorry to all the Fion lovers. I love Fion because of Guardians of the Sea Pokemon Ranger, but I also think Manaphy's D tier. But I think Manaphy is playable as a Pokemon. I think Manaphy is a unique case where it can get online and threatening very fast because Tail Glow boosts special attack by +3. But my only question is, how much support do you need around Manaphy to make it work? I think you need a lot of support on your team to make a Pokemon like Manaphy work, like Follow Me, Rage Powder, Fake Out. Manaphy could be played in Rain Team too, because it's a water type with the hydration ability. I could see it being played on a rain team. With that being said, I'm actually gonna make a I'm actually gonna make a new row. I'm putting F tier. Yeah, I'm gonna put Manaphy in D tier because I think it's playable. I think there's a small niche, but I don't think this niche is big enough to be meta changing. Okay, so this is interesting. The next Pokemon is Darkrai. I see a niche for Darkrai. I really do see a niche for Darkrai. Darkrai is a very strong Pokemon, even though Dark Void got nerfed, but I think there could be I think Gravity Dark Void could be played. So Gravity increases accuracy by 66%. So Gravity plus Dark Void would make it so that Dark Void is 88% accurate. Attack on like a wide lens or something, it could be broken. And honestly, this is the first thing I'm probably going to play test because I'm very interested about it. I think you could run a very gravity heavy team with like Darkrai and Groudon. Both of these Pokemon need Gravity because Groudon's signature Precipice Blades is 85% accurate, so Gravity will make it 100%, and also it will hit Flying type Pokemon and Levitate Pokemon, and it'll also increase Dark Void accuracy. I could see a niche. It could potentially bring back Darkrai. My only question about Darkrai is 125 speed enough? I think there's a lot of faster Pokemon that can one-shot Darkrai. Miraidon, Koraidon, Chi-Yu probably. Maybe Chenpao, Calyrex, Shadow Rider, depending on what set it is. So my question is 125 fast enough? I think on a lot of Groudon teams, Prankster Sableye Gravity is used, so you get the Gravity accuracy boost instantly. And honestly, I could see a core of that. Groudon, Darkrai, Sableye, I could see a core like that. Bro, I'm so ready to cook. I want to cook. I'm gonna put this in A tier. I don't know why, but in my mind, I really think this Groudon, Sableye, Darkrai pairing could work. I really think so. So I'm gonna put Darkrai in A tier. Okay, so next up is Shaman and Shaman Skyform. These two are my personal favorite mythical Pokemon, but sadly, I don't think they're gonna make the cut. The only thing that's really going for Shaman and Shaman Skyform is that they have Tailwind, but they don't have the Prankster abilities. I do think that Shaman Skyform will be better than Shaman Landform, because I think Shaman Skyform can have a niche again with Serene Grace Air Slash. And honestly, Shaman Ground Form, no offense, I love you Shaman Ground Form, but I don't think there's much going for you. I also find Seed Flare very interesting on Shaman Skyform because Seed Flare has a 40% chance to lower the target special defense by 2 stages, which is crazy. And it's 120 base power, and I think this could be an option. And I know there's fake tiers that reduces the special defense by 2 stages from like a Whimsicott or Grimmsnarl, and sometimes you also want the damage and the potential to lower special defense. I think I'm gonna put Shaman Skyform in C tier and Shaman Landform in D tier. I think out of any mythical Pokemon, Arceus is the one that's gonna get out. It has insane stats, 120 across the board. It also has a really good signature, and it could also change into any typing without Terra. I think that Arceus has good supportive capabilities. It has Will-O-Wisp, Tailwind, Thunder Wave. It also has Gravity if you want. It also has Trick Room too, Recover. Arceus has Parasong. I think that I know and you know who's going to try to make Parasong work again with Arceus. And this time Arceus is actually a good Parasong user too. I think Arceus also has a niche of just Terra normal extreme speed with the normal type, so it just has double stab basically on extreme speed, making it extremely strong. I think I'm going to put Arceus in A tier, but very high A tier. Next up, Keldeo. Keldeo doesn't really have much going for it, I think, at least. I think that Keldeo really wants to do what Iron Bundle is doing, but a lot less effectively, I think, and with a lot worse of an ability. Like, I don't think you can really beat Quark Drive. Quark Drive is a really good ability. There's not much going for Keldeo, I'll be honest with you. I'm sorry to all the Keldeo fans, but in my opinion, there's not that much going for Keldeo. So I'm gonna put Keldeo in D tier. Next up is Meloetta. Meloetta is an interesting Pokemon. Oh, Meloetta's signature ability, Relic Song, changes its typing to Aria to pure red form, going to outshine all of these other Pokemon. And I think same goes for a lot of these Pokemon. I don't know how they're going to outshine a Miraidon, a Koraidon, or any of that type. There's not much going for Meloetta, and I'm going to put Meloetta in D tier alongside Keldeo. So next up is Diancie. I think Diancie does have some play with it. I think Diancie has very low speed. It has 50 base speed, and I think it can be play decently into Trick Room with Diamond Storm plus Body Press and potential Gyro Ball too because it's so slow. It has really good defenses, 150 in defense and 150 in special defense. The only downside about DNC is its HP. It's very bad with 50 base HP. It also has a decent ability, which is Clear Body, which prevents other Pokemon from lowering stat changes. Iron Defense, or besides from the niche of Body Press, Diamond Storm, I think that Steel type moves really ruin this Pokemon. It's 4 times weak to Steel. But I don't. But Steel type moves aren't really seen that often, so I don't know if it matters that much. Yeah, I guess you do have to look out for Zamazenta Heavy Slam, but aside from that, there's not much you really have to worry about. And I'm gonna put DNC in C tier. Okay, next is Hoopa and Hoopa Unbound. I think Hoopa combined form is okay. There's gonna be a niche for Hoopa combined form. I don't think people are gonna run Hoopa confined form because it's the same typing as Caloric Shadow Rider. And in my opinion, Caloric Shadow Rider is just so much better than regular Hoopa. With that being said, I think I would put Hoopa refined form in C tier. As for Hoopa Unbound, this is going to be my next hot take alongside Darkrai. I think Hoopa Unbound, out of any single mythical Pokemon, can be the best Pokemon in the game. It has 160 attack, it has 170 special attack, it has really good special defense. Its defense stat could use some work. It's at a good speed stat. It's at a good 80 speed stat, so it can be used in both Trick Room and Tailwind. So it could have multiple modes. It could have multiple modes depending on team composition. I think Koopa's going to be the strongest Psychic Terrain Expanding Force user. It just has a lot of strong attacking moves too. Psychic Noise, Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, Dark Pulse. Could see Hyperspace Hold being used because it breaks protection for the turn, and it's also 80 base power. It's actually quite decent. We also have Hyperspace Fury, which also breaks protect, which is 100 base power Dark type move plus stab. I forgot to mention plus stab for the other one. I think Hoopa can be very strong with support Pokemon. I think Indeedee could be really strong with Hoopa. But yeah, I think with the proper support, Hoopa Unbound can be a really broken Pokemon. I could see a potential Hoopa Unbound Miraidon team. I think Miraidon could be really strong with Hoopa. You have one insanely good special attacker, and you have one insanely good physical attacker, or it can be both. And then, like a Miraidon team, you can try to build your pieces around this Hoopa Miraidon, because you can run like Choice Band, Choice Specs, and then you could have like Farigiraf with it to prevent priority from it. But yeah, I think this Pokemon can be the best Pokemon of any mythical. And out of any Pokemon, I could see this Pokemon. I think we could see this Pokemon performing the best. So the next Pokemon we got is Volcanion. I think that Volcanion as a Pokemon is very playable because it is fire and water type. It can play in, so it's like it kind of has an identity crisis. Doesn't want to play in rain, doesn't want to play in sun. I think Volcanion can perform well in both, but I just don't like the idea of Volcanion on a purely sun team or a purely rain team because it kind of shuts down one or the other typing. I think Volcanion could be used in the sense of a neutral weather team. So you kind of use Volcanion as will play under the opponent's weather because I'm strong in both sun and rain. I think that's the niche that Volcanion can hold. I think that Volcanion handles both rain and sun teams pretty well, especially with the water absorbability. I think it'll shut down Kyogre a bit. Kyogre's usage probably will go down if Volcanion's usage goes up. It also has Will-O-Wisp and Haze too. Also for sun teams, it has Earth Power and Scorching Sands. I think my biggest question about Volcanion is how is he going to take down Koraidon? Or how can he take down Koraidon? Because of the Fighting Dragon, I don't know necessarily. I think Steam Eruption being able to burn is quite cool too. 30% burn, which is crazy. In terms of Volcanion stats, he has good special attack and like good bulk overall. The only problem is 70 speed, but again, I think Volcanion can be... But I think 70 speed is a good metric of a Trick Room user. So Volcanion can play under Trick Room, but Volcanion is not slow enough that it relies on Trick Room. So it can also be played under Tailwind too. I'm going to put Volcanion in B tier alongside Deoxys. So the next Pokemon we have is Magearna. I personally never really liked Magearna. I think Magearna kind of suffers from identity crisis because Magearna, I don't know. To me, Magearna kind of suffers from identity crisis because at least in random battle movesets, Magearna runs Shift Gear and potentially Calm Mind. Again, Magearna is very slow, 65 base speed. It can be played pretty well under Trick Room, and it has one of the best typings in the game in Steel Fairy. It has a really good signature move, 140 base power with 140 base power with 90% accurate, and Fleur Cannon. But putting my bias aside, I think Magearna can work under a Trick Room team. It just has a really good typing. It has a really good signature move. It has pretty good stats, pretty good bulk. Only problem about Magearna is low speed, which we can look to abuse that with Trick Room. My only question about Magearna is, can Magearna be a Miraidon counter? Is there even a Miraidon counter? I think we could see Magearna as a Miraidon counter, but I'm not too sure. I haven't pulled out the calcs yet. Not yet. But I do see a niche for Magearna, so I'm gonna put Magearna in B tier. Next up is Zarude. I don't like Zarude that much. I don't really see the potential of Zarude. Maybe it's because I haven't played with Zarude enough as a Pokemon. Zarude's stats are pretty good. It has low special attack, which it's a physical attacker, so it's fine. It's a dark grass type. Oh my god, wait, you know what this means? It can replace Wo-Chien. It will be the part of the Ruination trio. Zarude S tier. No, I'm kidding. Zarude has an interesting signature move too, which is Jungle Healing, which is basically Life Dew and the status is cured. You heal 1/4 of max HP and the status is also cured, which I think is pretty good, honestly. It's just Life Dew but better, and it has a wide physical move pool. It has good 120 speed, so I'd say why not? I think Zarude can be played. Like another boulder that Calyrex Shadow Rider needs to go through. Potentially. Also, Zarude has Grassy Glide too, so it can also be another Grassy Glide user. So I'm gonna put Zarude in B tier. I think it can be played a bit. And lastly, we got Pekka-Run. I think... Okay, Pekka-Run for me is kind of a fun Pokemon. It has Malignant Chain, which is a 50% chance to poison. And if it's poisoned, the target gets confused. I think Pekka-Run can be kind of like a pest Pokemon. It just spams Malignant Chain, and then it can just like cause a fuck ton of... It can just like spam Malignant Chain or even Toxic, and it can just like cause a bunch of confusion around and just start stacking up that RNG, stacking up that RNG, and it also has Hex too, so I think it could be quite a cool Pokemon to use. But it also has Parting Shot if it wants to just get out too. It has really crazy defense, 160 defense and then 88 in all of their stats, which is not bad. I think, yeah, like I said, Pekka-Run is a very pest playstyle. Ooh, oh no. I'm just looking at his moveset. It knows Poison Gas. Poison Gas plus Poison Puppeteer, and then you get the double confusion on the Pokemon. Oh my god, but this is gonna be crazy, no? I feel like this can be crazy. I feel like this can cook a bit. I don't know. I think this Pokemon can cook a tiny bit. I'm gonna put Pekka-Run in B tier, high B tier. What do you guys think of this tier list, and what would you change? With that being said, until next time, peace.